Hello and welcome to another installment of Winter Solace here at the Asylum for Art. My name is Scott Arnold. You'll see that we're wearing masks today in conjunction with all the healthcare people wearing masks and with everybody else, and hopefully this will inspire everyone to put on their masks, and hopefully this thing will go away very quickly. So we're also going to do something else new today, and that's going to be a little question and answer period and a little comment form at the bottom of the page. So when we're finished the show, you can ask some questions, and we can get some answers for that. So fill out those forms. And we'll get to that at the end of it. So here we go. Harp tonight.
Would you like me to keep playing while you're trying to figure things out?
Sure.
Okay. And do we think that we maybe are on?
Well, it's not on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, Stephanie's saying it's not working.
There's a big lag in the video as well. The broadcast, I don't know if that makes any difference.
It should be, like on the Vimeo it's on, like it's getting as far as here.
This camera in front of me is showing red right now. I don't know if that...
Yeah, that's you there.
It's, okay. But it's got a red light, not a green.
I think that's right.
What does the Wi-Fi tell you, Scott?
Everything is working, and even this is the Vimeo site. It should be.
And you guys did a test?
It was working earlier, yeah.
You want to just try to reboot it somehow?
Oh, my brother just wrote and said it's live.
Is it? Okay.
That was at 34. Okay.
Okay, well then I guess let's go. There must have been an error.
Okay, well, we're going to go with that, and I will continue on. This is the joys of live performance online. I'm going to continue with the first movement from a sonata by Giovanni Battista Peschetti. And that's right. In the confusion, I forgot that I meant to be doing this with my microphone. So once again, I'll be playing the first movement from a sonata by Giovanni Battista Peschetti. What I find particularly interesting about this is that my fingers will be moving rather quickly, but I'm hoping that Scott, our videographer here, will be able to show you a little bit about my feet, because that's actually pretty dramatic. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you were able to catch a little bit of my footwork in that piece. There are 7 pedals on the concert harp and 47 strings, and each pedal actually shortens the strings. So each string can be shortened and actually has 3 pitches. So for instance, C natural, C flat, C natural, and C sharp. That's all possible on the same string, and that's all done by my feet moving around. So it's very interesting when the key is changing all the time. I'm going to continue with the Ave Maria by Bach and Gounod. Thank you very much. I'd like to continue with music now from the Impressionist period, namely by Claude Debussy. And Claude Debussy was one of the first composers to write extensively for the harp with all of its capacity for different harmonies. This particular piece is meant to give you the impression of a young girl, perhaps out in a wheat field, a sunny day, very gentle and flowy. It's La fille aux cheveux de lin, or the girl with the flaxen hair. Thank you. I'd like to continue actually with a little bit of a game that I'd like to play with you. I'm going to play a piece, and I know I can't see your feedback, but I do hope that wherever you're listening and watching from, as soon as you hear this, you raise your arms, or you say, "I know that," or you sing along, or you make some form of an exclamation. I'm just always curious. Now, if you know what it is, I'll know that you're probably over 45 years old. I hope there are some of you sitting there going, "Ah, the friendly giant," or early one morning. You know, I think a lot about, or we talk a lot about comfort, food, and I really feel that music has that comfort aspect as well, and I like to call it comfort music. And the next couple of pieces and some of the other ones I'll play today I think, fall into that category, just like that friendly giant theme. I don't think they need introduction, but if you know the words, sing along. If you hum along, do whatever moves the music moves you to do. That's what it's there for. And I hope that it touches your hearts. Thank you. Thank you. I have to say, one of the highlights of my career was actually accompanying Christopher Plummer singing that beautiful song from The Sound of Music several years ago. It was just a treat and such a gentleman to work with. Really an honor. I'm going to continue with one of my favorite pieces. It's called Chanson dans la nuit, Song in the Night. And I'll be using several different types of effects for playing the harp. It's a piece written by a man named Carlos Salcedo. He was also my teacher's teacher, so I feel a great affinity to him and actually a responsibility to carry on that legacy. This particular piece, I use my fingers in very different ways, also with my nails and tapping on the board, some things like this. And these colors are all used to give you some of the impressions, again, impressionist music, of perhaps insects at night, muskrats. At one point, this is meant to be a window being opened. And twice as well, we'll hear some bells indicating that at the second time that the night is about to come to the end and the mists all start to dissipate. This is Song in the Night by Carlos Salcedo. Thank you. I just love playing that piece because it really introduces people to a little bit more of the variety, the capacity that the harp has to speak with so many different voices, and it's not really that well known in that respect. We kind of think of the angels and, you know, all of the glissandos, these fancy things, you know, the Hollywood version of whatever. I'm going to continue with two more pieces by Carlos Salcedo, and these are dance tunes. So once again, if the music moves you to dance, get up and do so wherever you're sitting, stand up, move around, wiggle. Music is here to move us. It comes from within, and it's meant to be shared freely and openly. So this first piece is a tango. And so if you have anybody in mind, go ahead and tango away with them, or at least in your heart or your mind. And the second one is an even brighter seguidilla. Thank you. Those are just fun to play. I hope you can see me smiling, at least with my eyes. My concerts often just include all my favorites, and that's kind of what tonight is all about. I'm going to move, actually, it is the Christmas, the Advent season, the season of light, and I'm going to play a few of my favorite Christmas carols, starting off with the gorgeous Appalachian Carol, also harmonized by Carlos Salcedo, I Wonder as I Wander. Thank you. It's so wonderful to be with you here tonight. You know, as a musician, it's almost like our voices have been taken away. And having the opportunity to perform for you live, even though through a camera screen, is just so special. So thank you so much to the Instrumental Society as well as Asylum for Art for the initiative and the government support as well for this, AHS and as well. And my greetings to all of the people who are working so tirelessly to keep us safe. It's challenging for me to play with a mask on, I have to tell you. I was so worried that my glasses were going to be fogging up, but so far, so good. I'm going to continue with a Noël Nouvelet and Patapon in a combination arrangement by Darhan Rees Rohrbacher. Thank you. I'm going to continue now with two more, a Catalan carol and a traditional French carol. What shall I give and what is this fragrance? And do you know that question, what shall I give, is really, I think, the one that sits on our hearts so much these days, really at Christmas time in any case, but also in particular now, what is mine to do, what is mine that I can give? And this is part of my journey as being able to share the music and keep the music live. I started a new initiative called Harp to Heart, where I've been traveling in a big, tall Ford Transit van, playing COVID-safe concerts for seniors and in campgrounds and parking lots, schools, all kinds of things. And that journey will start again in March. But there are just so many ways that we can be creative and courageous through this time, and I think it's what's really being asked of us. So this is my gift to you, and then we'll continue to what is this fragrance? Thank you. You know, at this Christmas season, one of the great traditions is going to see the Nutcracker. And of course, this year, that's not happening except on a screen as well. But I did wanted to remind us all a little bit of two of the melodies. Well, the big thrill that we as harpists have is playing the big cadenza before the Waltz of the Flowers. So I'm going to play the Arab dance and the cadenza, and then I have a surprise for you after that. Thank you. I see we've gone a little bit over time, but we did have a technical glitch when we started. So I am going to play the last song that I had for you without any further ado. Thank you so much for having me here, for sharing this time together. It's so special for me as well. The Christmas song, or Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire.
Well, thank you for coming out tonight. We're going to try doing a question and answer period now.
Great.
So I have a couple of questions which have been emailed to me a little bit earlier today, but those of you listening, if you have the capacity to do so, write your question into the comment box underneath or into the question box underneath that as well. So let's get started with some of the ones from earlier today. I have too many phones on my All right. Oops. Okay. What is your favorite family holiday tradition? And did they have to adapt to a new tradition or an alternative over COVID?
Wow, that's a great question. And my children have all grown up, and so their family traditions are already changing all the time. I think as far as my kids are concerned, the tradition that I need to do every year is make my peanut butter chocolate covered cherries. And I did them this year, and my son in Toronto has already received his, and he warned me that they might be all gone well before Christmas.
And did you bring enough to share?
I didn't bring any tonight, but there are some still in my freezer. I may have to make some more.
Excellent. And what is your favorite Christmas album?
Oh, I'm so bad with titles and things, but there's one by a choir I think they're in Vancouver, Corleone, and Cheapers. I can't even remember what it's called, but it's just a beautiful collection. It's an old recording. I've probably had it for about 20 years already.
Nice. Okay. What inspires you to be creative, or where do you draw your inspiration from with your music?
Wow. I think life inspires me to be creative and courageous, and I really feel, in fact, that COVID has really pushed me even more so to live creatively. And so I would say inspiration is from life and very much from my children, my grandchildren as well now. And that's, of course, my faith and that question of what can I bring into this world in the time that I have. I don't know if you posted any of the photos from my work in Brazil while we were playing.
I did post some of them, yeah. And some of the videotapes too of you doing your band a little excursion as well.
Right, okay, yeah. Always new things. I'm not a good person if I get bored. Like, I can't imagine getting bored, but
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
There's just too much in the world to discover. Life is just really full of challenges and excitement.
This is true. I know it sounds like there's a lot of people in here, but it really is just me and Aaron are the only people in the audience. Yeah, we have extra hands, I think is. Aaron, do you have any questions that you would like to ask?
I wrote them on the site. So, Gianetta, when did you first play the harp?
Well, first played. So I'll backtrack a little bit. My parents actually gave me a toy harp for Christmas when I was 3. So that was in 1963. And I wanted to play the harp. And then at the age of 5, they told me I had to take 5 years of piano first. And so then I got my grade 5 RCM and stamped my feet and said, okay, where's my harp? And so finally at the age of 10, I got my first real harp for playing on. But that very first one, in fact, was tunable. So, I guess I played with it. There's a very cute picture of me that Christmas online somewhere. I think in a leopard costume.
Amazing. And also, aside from accompanying, or rather performing with Christopher Plummer, what are some of your career highlights so far?
Oh my goodness. It is so hard to say. I mean, playing in Brazil is always wonderful, and to be invited for those opportunities. But really, some of the concerts that I've done in, Northern Ontario 30 or 40 years ago even, I'm dating myself, but, and in Eastern Europe before the wall fell in 1988, I toured in Poland, and those experiences that were just all so powerful. And what moves me about them is the capacity of music to connect with people wherever we are in the world. So I think that's really it, is those moments of really intimate connection. And it doesn't matter where it is, but for sure, the opportunity to play with a performer like Christopher Plummer is a particularly special opportunity.
Thank you.
Okay, so
This is fun.
yeah, it is.
I have to keep pulling my...
So I've heard that for some kids, the harp seems very remote in terms of being able to access an instrument, but I know that you have donated harps. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure, yeah. Well, I've donated 10 harps through an action I started called Harping for Harps. I know it's a very kitschy name, but it worked and it stuck. So through that, donations here from Canada, I've been able to donate 10 harps to music social projects in Brazil, mostly in Rio. And I've also in the past year been working with an instrument builder in Rio, or close to Rio, to make harps there, build them actually there in situ, which is great because it's much better for sustainable development to actually be building the business for him there. So I'm doing what I can to make harps more accessible, and there are all kinds of great ones there. There are cardboard harps being built now. There's somebody I think in Regina making those. So it's certainly more common than it was when I was growing up, and the Celtic movement has made a big difference for that, a lot more awareness. What's interesting about the students in Brazil, the kids in Brazil, is that, I mean, although I have certainly female students, the boys are so attracted to the harp. Oh my gosh, they just love it. And I love teaching boys because they're fearless, right? So they just go at it and they dig into it and they get this gorgeous sound. It's wonderful. It's so much fun. So very different approach to the instrument and that whole kind of, froofy kind of thing, which it's not. You have to be very strong to play the harp as well as to move it around.
And you are, we know that.
I had a cousin once who I helped move a 400-pound wood stove. And he's a farmer, and he's so impressed with me. He said to me, "You could have made a really good farm wife, you know?" And I said, "Alan, that's probably the best compliment you could ever give me."
So that leads us to another question that someone asked is, how heavy is your harp? And are there different sizes of harps, and how do they sound different?
Okay, yeah. My harp is just about 90 pounds. And which isn't that bad, and I do have a cart to move it on. That said, there are days when it feels a lot heavier than other days. Its primary weight is at the bottom, and of course the bulk, as you can see, is at the top. So it's very ungainly in that way, so you really have to know what you're doing. There are different sizes of harps. There are also Celtic or lever harps, folk harps. Some are small that can actually sit on your lap. They're usually about 22 strings. This one is 47, and then the lever harps that most of my students start on do not have pedals. They have levers, hence lever harp, and they're about this tall and usually have 34 or maybe 38 strings, and much easier to move. There are also carbon fiber harps now, which is amazing. And I've played on them. I don't love the sound, but it's pretty amazing that a concert-sized harp can weigh only 35 or 40 pounds as opposed to nearly 100.
That's excellent. I'm out of questions, I think. Do you have anything else?
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. It was just wonderful to be here. I'm glad we worked out whatever the glitch was at the beginning. What a pleasure.
I'm not sure. So our next show will be on Tuesday evening at 6:30. It'll be Mark Limacher, the pianist. And
He's so wonderful.
It's true.
I got to watch.
And then on Friday is going to be Aaron Young, the guitar player. And then on Sunday, do we still have our oud player going to become? So anyway, we have quite a few shows coming up over December. There'll be another 6 more, and then they'll be going into January and February as well. So thank you, and I'll see you next time.
I feel like I should play some